Hi everybody, welcome back to another What I Eat in a Day video where I share with you what I am actually eating on my health journey. This is my real life. This is what I'm eating. I'm not manicuring anything to make it look good for YouTube. I'm just sharing my journey so far, and I follow a plant-based diet. I am vegan and I've lost 70 pounds in a sustainable way. I've been able to get away from yo-yo dieting. I've been getting away from restricting so much that it leads to a binge, and that all in, all out mindset is just something that does not even exist for me anymore because I took things slow. I changed my habits really slowly so that it was sustainable, so that I could actually maintain the changes that I was making and have lasting results long term. This summer, I've been enjoying a little bit more processed foods than I typically would, but I've been doing it in a way where I pair it with lots of veggies and I make sure I'm still hitting my base habits that I have set for myself so that it doesn't result in a gain. And I've been able to maintain my weight all through the summer, but now as the summer is starting to come a little bit closer to an end, I'm feeling like I'm ready to start really getting back to my basics. So this past week, I've been really focusing on including potato meals and cutting out the processed foods a bit and just kind of getting back to my roots. So today is going to be a day showing you really basic whole food meals that are easy to make. I don't even know what they're going to be yet. I know what breakfast is because breakfast is always the same, but I'm not sure how lunch and dinner is going to go yet, but I do know that it's going to include potatoes. So I have my coffee and I have my oatmeal here. This is just chocolate berry oatmeal. I didn't bother to show you how to make it because it's been in so many videos and it's literally a bowl of oatmeal. I just take frozen cauliflower rice and mix it with a scoop of protein, like a half a serving of protein, some extra cocoa powder, quick oats, water, and frozen berries, and then I microwave it. It's simple. This is what I eat basically every single day, or like a version of it. Like I like mango a lot. I switch up the fruit. I'll switch up the flavor profile. So I eat a version of this every single day just because it's cozy. I really look forward to it every single morning, and maybe one day I'll switch it up, but I tend to fixate on one like meal at a time and just eat it on repeat. And it works especially well for breakfast because I know what I'm going to eat. There's no I don't have to think about it. It's just easy, open brain space in the morning. I come down, I do my same routine of making my oats, making my coffee, and eating it. And then it's one less thing that I have to think about in the day. So that's one of my base habits that I kind of stick to, is eating the same breakfast almost every single day. Makes life easier, and I know what to expect. So I'm going to dig into this and I'm going to start my day. I got to get my kids off to camp, and I have a few things I need to do, so I'll be running around, but I will show you what I'm eating throughout the day, and we'll talk about habits a little bit more. My second base habit is that I go for a walk every single day, no matter what the weather is. It's just a non-negotiable habit that I have for myself. My current step goal is 10,000. And I worked up to that. I did not start there. So if you want to get more steps in, it's better to start small when you're habit building. So if you're only getting 4,000 steps a day, then make your goal 5,000 steps a day. And then once that feels easy, make it 6,000 steps. Increase it just little by little until you reach where you want to be at. Because if you jump from 5,000 steps a day to a goal of 10,000 steps a day, you're setting yourself up to make it difficult, and you're setting yourself up for failure. And you want to make sure that when you're building habits, you make them easy enough that you can actually achieve, so that you can celebrate little wins, and then it feels good and you're making it easy, and it's just easy to expand on that. So I got in my morning walk, and then I'm back to my house, and I just made little bouquets for my kids. I made sure I picked some flowers from our CSA share yesterday when I went, because they are doing a theater camp this week. They're at theater camp this week, and today I get to go watch their show. I'm so excited. It's usually very, very cute, but I wanted to have something nice to give them afterwards. So I made them little bouquets, and now I'm going to go get my workout in. I'm still working through that Carolyn Gervin iron program. Today is day 25, and I am slowly but surely making my way through it, and I feel really strong, so I'm very excited about that. And yeah, I'm procrastinating now, so I'm gonna go work out. And I will see you at lunchtime. I'm currently eating at least one potato-based meal every single day, so today is one of the basics. I just cut up some potatoes and popped them in my microwave steamer until they were mostly cooked. And in the meantime, I made myself a cucumber salad with a ton of cucumbers and a tomato and some green onion tossed in there. Into my giant cucumber salad, I'm adding salt, pepper, and spicy pepper flakes. I have these jalapeno ones that need to get used, so jalapeno pepper flakes, salt, and then I have just a regular old balsamic, and then I have an aged balsamic. This one's thicker, sweeter, more delicious, but I do like the vinegariness of the regular one, so I do both. And I just measure with my heart. Oop. It's not lunch if I don't make a mess, honestly. And then last time I added a spoonful of my edamame pesto hummus, and it made it so delicious, so I'm going to add a nice dollop of that, and we'll mix it all up. So into my air fryer, I am adding those pre-steamed potatoes from the microwave, and I'm just seasoning them with garlic. I like a lot of garlic, a little bit of smoked paprika, and salt, keeping it pretty simple today. And then for my protein today, I'm just going to throw in a little bit of cubed lunch meat seitan that I had in my fridge. While that is air frying, I'm going to start eating my cucumber salad. Adding the edamame hummus in there, or any hummus in general, just makes it so creamy, and it kind of switches it up from my normal cucumber salad, which is nice. My next non-negotiable habit is eating my veggies at lunch and dinner. I eat a ton of non-starchy vegetables, and this is what helps me feel full and helps me lower the overall calorie density of my meals. And this is what has helped me maintain my weight throughout the summer when I wasn't really trying to lose, but I also didn't want the scale to go up. I was loading up on my non-starchy veggies because that still helps me keep the calorie density of my meals down. I like to be full. I like to eat a lot of volume and a lot of food, and I need that food to be lower on the calorie density side, at least the bulk of it, because otherwise my calories would be through the roof. So this is what helps me lower the calorie density of my meals by loading up on tons of vegetables, and I'm really excited to dig into this. Cucumbers and tomatoes are in season right now in the summer, and I'm living for it. Yeah, that's good. The key with eating your veggies is to lean into vegetables that you actually like you actually want to eat, using sauces or condiments to make it more interesting, because sometimes you get into slumps where you just are not feeling a certain veggie or just not wanting to eat your veggies. But switching up the sauces or switching up how you're eating them is really helpful to help you get more in. This is so good. And now I am on to part 2 of my lunch. I have those air fried potatoes and my seitan with some barbecue sauce. It's the Capital City Mambo sauce and some mustard. It's this guy right here. He's pretty good. I think he's like 40 calories for 2 tablespoons. Yep. So I like that. So as you can see, this is a ton of volume, especially after that huge cucumber salad I just had. I'm actually not sure I'm going to eat all this or not. We'll see how I feel, because that cucumber salad was extra large today. But if I don't eat it all right now, I'll eat the rest later on in like a couple hours probably as a snack. So it'll get eaten today, one way or the other. I also have my iced tea with my creatine mixed into it, and I will kind of nurse this for the next hour or so. Let me know, do you want me to always tell you about what I'm drinking? I feel like every video I'm I'm drinking my creatine and having my collagen and stuff like that. Do you want to know about those supplements, or is it enough for me to just put it in the description for you? Let me know. We're gonna dig in. So I got to enjoy a beautiful little show from my kids, and now I am home. It's about 3:30 in the afternoon, and I'm going to do a little bit of prepping to get things together for dinner because I have some running around I need to do tonight around dinner time probably. So I won't be like home to like cook. So I'm going to do some prep now to make my life easier for later. But first, I'm going to make some of my cold brew coffee. I use this little contraption and it saves my life. And I basically have a batch brewing at all times. It's this little filter in a big mason jar. And then I just grind up some coarse coffee and dump it in. Fill this up with water and I let this sit on my counter for at least 24 hours, sometimes more. 24 hours is basically the minimum before I would want to drink it. And then you just take the filter out and put the little lid on so it's pourable, and it's just so convenient. So if you're not making your own cold brew, I highly recommend this little contraption. I just got it off of Amazon. I'll link it for you if you're interested. It's not that expensive and it's super convenient and has definitely saved me money on cold brew coffee that I bought from the store. I'm also drinking another cold brew because I definitely need to pick me up this afternoon. I'm also going to drink some water with this, and I'm telling you so that I'm holding myself accountable, so that I'm not just drinking coffee and I'm actually hydrating, because I'm usually a good water drinker, but this week I feel like I'm slacking a little bit. So for dinner, I was inspired by my little harvest this morning from my garden, so I'm going to go with a, like, I don't even know what to call it. It's going to be like a peanut salad thing. That's a very good description. I have Thai basil and I have serrano peppers and I have tons of shishitos from my garden. So what I'm going to do is basically make a salad. I have some leftover rice in my fridge I'm going to use. I'm probably going to cook up a sweet potato to just go with that rice because rice tends to not fill me up very much. So I'm going to add an extra starch component in there with the sweet potato. My protein is going to be edamame. For the shishitos, I'm just going to blister these. If you've never had these, they're so good. I had them when I was vacationing with my husband one time, and they just like blister them on the stove and like sprinkle them with salt, and they usually cook them in oil. But they are delicious. So I grow them myself now because I can't really find them. Occasionally Trader Joe's has them, but I don't really go there that often because it's not that close to me. So I like to grow them and they do really, really well. So I have a bunch of shishitos. I'm going to blister those on the stove and I'm going to toss them with like maybe the smallest touch of sesame oil, probably like not even half of a teaspoon is enough. And then that way the salt will stick to it, and that sesame oil is more for, well, the sesame oil is for flavor. It's not for anything else in my mind because the flavor is just so good and it just goes really well. So I'm going to make a really quick peanut sauce using powdered peanut butter, coconut aminos, rice, vinegar, lime juice, and hoisin for flavor. This is one of those sauces where I just kind of measure with my heart once again. I'm going to mix everything together and I'm going to taste it, and then I'll adjust it depending on what I think it needs. If it needs more tang, if it needs more salt, if it needs a little sweetness. Sometimes I'll add maple syrup to this, but today I'm just going to use coconut aminos because that is salty, but it's also sweet. And I'm going to add some hoisin. This also has some sugar in it. And then we'll mix this up and we'll taste it and we'll see what else it needs. All right, so that's pretty thick, but it tastes really good. I'm going to add a little more lime and a little bit more coconut aminos and probably some water to thin it out because I do want it to be more like a dressing. All right, not as thick anymore. Pretty good. I want it to be spicy. I really like spice and I want this to be spicy, but I know I'll regret it if I add it into this. Oh, you know what this is missing? It's missing ginger, but I don't think I have any fresh ginger right now. Usually I like really load the ginger into this. That's probably what I feel like I'm missing. So it's all right. Still good. So next up, I'm going to run some Brussels sprouts, forgot what these were for a second, Brussels sprouts and a cucumber through my food processor to make it easier. And I'm basically just going to prep all the ingredients that are going to go into the salad. and then I'm going to keep them separate from the actual lettuce until I'm actually ready to eat. Okay, so to recap this prep real quick, it took me about 30 minutes. I already have leftover rice. When I come back, all I'm gonna have to do is basically throw some lettuce in a bowl, top it with the fresh stuff, top it with the defrosted edamame and all the herbs that I cut up, and then I'm gonna warm up my rice. I'm going to toss the pre-cooked sweet potatoes into the air fryer so that it is nice and crispy, and that's gonna go on my salad. And then on the side, we'll have the blistered shishitos. So all I have to do is warm up the rice, blister the shishitos, and basically toss everything together with the dressing, and that is going to be my complete dinner. This is where I am wrapping up this video. I hope you enjoyed it. That dinner tonight was so delicious. I love a salad that has a combination of like warm and fresh and cold like ingredients all together. It's just something that makes it so satisfying. And it was another perfect example of how you can have a huge volume of food but keep the calorie density low by utilizing those non-starchy veggies and the whole food starches in there. Yeah, so I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope that it gave you some inspiration, or maybe you found it relatable at the very least, because this is literally what I ate today. It was just another day of eating and another day of trying to reach my goals and, you know, keeping it simple as I possibly can, but still delicious. So don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe to my channel so you never miss another video. And I am excited to see you in the next one. Bye.